Okay, so let's start with this tutorial. It's not really a tutorial, but we'll cover the most basic things of how to make a stage, and I'll try to make a stage here on screen, and then you should be good to go to make your first stage yourself on Project Manager. Now, this tutorial will be on Project Manager 2020. That doesn't really matter. It is the same for Project Manager 2019 or 2021 or any other Project Manager game that is based on Steam, basically. So, first of all, how to get the Project Manager 2020 or another year, how to get the stage editor. For that, if you have bought and downloaded the Project Manager you play, you can go to your library and then start, and then on the left you have games, and you can click on this, and then you can select also tools, because the stage editor is in tools. And then you can get a whole list of all the tools you can play of your games you have downloaded, of course. And then you see Project Manager 2020 and Project Manager 2020 stage and database editor. You click on the second one because that's what we want to use, and then you download it, or if you already have downloaded it, you can just start the game, and then you click on play stage editor and not the database editor, and then it should start the stage editor like this. So here we have it, the stage editor is now opened, downloaded, and we can start to create our first stage. So now we have opened the stage editor and we can start to make our stage. First of all, we need a new file. So we go on the left top in the corner to File, and then we click on New. This will create a new file. Now we have to fill in some details of this file first of all. So the stage name is the name that will appear in the game. So what I mostly do is I type start to finish. So for this I will do start finish, because that's what most of the stages are named in the Project Manager game. Then you create, you put the region you want to make your stage in. So I want to make my stage in let's say Italy here in Lombardy, for example. That will just put the region of the stage. Helps, makes a bit of difference in game, but it's not really that important. I will make some cover. I will cover that a bit later in another video or so. So the region is more important because that sets the color scheme a bit of your stage. So if you choose desert, then all of the ground will be sand, yellow desert. If you choose south, it will be more orange, dry area. If you choose Alps or north of Atlantics, then it will be more greenish. So you really have to choose the right region here to give the good feeling to your stage. So I will keep Alps because I am in Lombardy. As you see, there are not all countries are represented here, so you have to choose what you think fits best. There is no region called Lombardy specifically, so and then the final thing is created from elevation data, noting height map. We mostly use elevation data if we want to make a real life stage. So these are the basic coordinates of an area. So it will go from 6.4 east to 6.69 east, and 47 degrees north to 47.2 degrees north. So that will cover a small area. If you want to change that, you can manually change that to something else. So you can go, I want 5.4, and then you see that the longitude max will directly change depending on the size, or you can read bounds from a GPX KML file. For real life stages, that's what we use the most. So we click on that, we choose our GPX file here, I think, yeah. And you see that the game changes the coordinates itself, so you don't have to do that anymore. So then you just click OK, and then after a while of loading, you have your first terrain to work with to make your first stage. And this is what we're going to use to make the stage. So here we are in the stage editor. We have our stage, and now we're gonna try to we have our terrain, and now we're going to try to make a stage out of it. Now, first of all, how to control the stage editor. It's fairly easy. You just need the arrow keys to move the camera, so left, right, up and down. You can use the middle mouse button to zoom in and zoom out. And then you can rotate the camera by clicking on the middle mouse button and then dragging your mouse across the surface it is on to rotate the camera in any direction you want. So you have moving, zooming in and out, and then rotating the camera. Amazing English. So that is what we are going to use to make our stage. Now, first of all, the first thing I like to do when I make a stage is make the water, because the water is part of our terrain and will make it easier to create roads and such. So we're gonna add rivers and lakes first. Now, it's really hard to it's fairly hard to see where a lake is in real life on this type of terrain. So we can go to top view, and here you can really see, for example, on the left side. On top view you can also zoom with the middle mouse button, and then you move with the middle mouse button also, because if you use the arrows it goes very slow. So I mostly use the middle mouse button. But here in the top view you can really see the edge of the coastline, so you can really follow that to make your sea or your lake. I don't know if there is another really good. Yeah, you can also see a bit like the rivers here, the paths rivers make are also visible in the better in the top view, visible in the top view. So we mostly use that in this case. But for today we're gonna make it a bit fantasy, so we're going to do what we want. So I'm just gonna find here, this could be a nice lake. So you select on the left bar the add water. This will add lakes and seas. And then you right click anywhere on the map to make a node. This is the first node. On the right side you have all the details about your lake you're going to make, and you just click right click on your mouse some spots elsewhere, and you see it will make a line from node to node, and that will be the border of our lake. Now it won't appear until we have closed this circle, so we will have to go back on this side, and on the final thing you just hover over the first node until it goes another color, and then you right click again, and now we have made our lake. It's a beautiful lake. So you can just left click on every node from now on to select them. I'm just going to see if there are no errors. Errors, no. Okay. So on the right side you have some details about your lake. So you can change the texture on the lake. So we have lake 0, 1, 2, and you see that the lake is changing as we change it. So I'm going to use lake 3. The shoreline, you can go lakeside or seaside. Lakeside is a bit gray, seaside is a bit sandy yellow, a beach for mostly. But this will only appear if you have our root next to it. So that's not really important right now. And then we have the level, how deep is your lake, or how high is the water level of your lake. Now it is at 2. The minimum I think is 1. It will raise it a little bit higher, as you could see. If you go even higher than 1, then you get more and more chance on or for an error. So that's not really what we like to have. I don't really use the other things, but you can change those too. Now if we left click on a node, if you are not satisfied with the place it is in, you can change it with these arrows. So the blue will change it horizontally, the red and green also, but only in one direction. So that small blue arrow will change it horizontally. The green also, the red also. The big blue will change it only vertically. And then we have the red and the green smaller arrows that will change it in a certain area that is horizontally and then one direction. No, it's vertically and one direction horizontally. But the vertical movement won't work until we have unselected snap object to landscape, because if we want to do it now it will only go down or so, and that's not what we want. So if we untick snap object to landscape, now we can put it as high as we want. So we can put it back. I mostly use step objects to landscape, so things don't float somewhere. So now we have created our lake. I will go and add rivers. That this add river is on the left side, just above add water. This is the same, but here we don't have to make a circle. That's the only difference. So we start on a certain point, right here for example. We have the width of our river. I will change the global width to 8. We have once again the name of the river, so we can change it to river 1, the shoreline to riverside if we want. That isn't really necessary, and here you see when we make only one node, the river will already appear, and just have to draw a line and the river will follow that line. So our river will go to the lake that we want. Now here it will go a bit under the lake. I don't think that's a real big arrow. Yeah. You can unselect snap object to landscape and then make it higher, but then you have this kind of thing, so you have to find the border a bit like this. Maybe this a bit lower also. We can put this a bit higher. Yeah, this is nice, so the river just flows in the lake. Yeah, that's what you need to know. Up close things don't really look that good in the stage editor, but overall if you have enough and you are far enough, you will it will be okay. So don't look too close because the details aren't really that great sometimes. So now we have our lake and our river. You can add more if you want. Follow a bit the terrain and don't make your river go over the ridge or go upwards. I think it's okay here. Yeah. So the river always flows. The water always flows down. That's important. For the rest, this is all you need to know about rivers and lakes. So we have our lake and our river. In this part we're going to now make the roads, and that will be it. A bit maybe make the route also, that will be great. But first we will try to save our stage, because now if the stage editor crashes we have lost all our work. And the stage editor does crash sometimes, so we have to be prepared. So we go to File on the left, on the top left. We go to Save. We're going to save the z.ccts file somewhere where you want. So I will go to Setting Manager, Custom Stages, and we'll make a new folder, Tutorial, and then I will make tutorial. So we save your stage somewhere where you want to. It will save the CCTS file. So yeah, save. It doesn't take too long normally, and now it has been saved, and also it will auto save every 10 minutes normally. So yeah, that is good if you don't want to lose our progress. Next step is we will add our roads. You have add road right on the left side, and it's just the same as rivers now, because you right click, you create a node, and you right click on some place else and you have another node. On the right side you have some details, so how big is your road. You can play a bit with those, so you can make multiple lanes. You can can change the width of the lanes to smaller or bigger lanes. You can change the texture of the road, so you can make it lighter or darker. And if you see here, it's darker. Now it's even more dark. So yeah, nice. You can add marks and marks. So we can put mark 5 like this. So now we have road marks. You can add trees on the left or right side. So we can add oaks on the left and right side like this. You can change the parameters. Not do that too much today. So yeah, I will remove the roads. So now you just click, right click to make your road network. So now we come to our river. We will try to cross this river, just so we put a road point on the other side. It will create a bridge automatically, but it will only do that in certain road width and way certain voies and way widths. So if you go to 2.2 meter and 50, it won't make a bridge because that's too small. If you have 3 voies, it will also won't make a bridge because there is no bridge in the game for 3 road lanes, in fact. So here we have 2 lanes and each lane is 3 meter 50, so we can put a bridge here. You can also select a bridge and change the name. You make sure you stay in the same name, so local 3.5. So we have 4 options here, and you can change it. You can change the length of the bridge a bit. You can also fully break the bridge if you want to, so that's always nice. So you can also place it somewhere else with the arrows, so that's always nice. Now, if you want to make a road longer, you left click on the button, and here you see that the arrow is pointing to the right side. So now we have selected this part of the road. So now if we right click to make a new node, it will change that part. To delete a node is just delete. So we have to click until the arrow is pointing away. You also see that this is becoming orange and not red. So now if you right click, we will make new nodes in the new part of the nodes. So yeah, we will just follow this a bit. Maybe end here, like that. And so if you want to make a new road, you just left click somewhere else to unselect the node, and then you right click on a new place. We will make this a bit smaller, 3 meters. And if you want to make an intersection, you just right click on and then you hover on the node until it becomes purple, right click, and now we have our intersection. If we want a third road, so here we can also change the color and the template. Once again, pick 5. So like this. If we want a new third road in our intersection, you just wait until it's pink. You hover over it until it's pink, and then you right click. So like this, so you create a new road. You can see that both the other roads are still red. If we left click, you see that one of the roads is selected always, so that is not what we want, or otherwise we will just have the same road. So we right click, all the rest are red, and then we make our new roads like this. And we make sure not to have too much space between the nodes, because otherwise it may get a bit tricky with AI and the height and so on. So we will just go around this lake a bit and make 2 roads. So here I will stick to the lake side. I will make a tunnel here, I think. So just go here. So I want a tunnel, if it works, it should work, through this hill. So I will just go to the other side of the hill, here below, right click, like this. See, now we have a tunnel through the hill, or maybe even like this. Yeah, that's good. I will make it a bit longer because now it's a bit short, like this. Great. Tunnels are a bit weird in Pro Cycling Manager, as you can see here. If you make the routes here, I think it should be fine. Yeah, the tunnels are just a bit weird, so I try to avoid them, but you don't always can. So like this, and then after the tunnel you will continue our roads. I will make another intersection right here because the more intersections you have, the better it is. For some things, it's not always better, but sometimes it helps your things. So I just made this road go a bit outwards. Maybe this marks a bit. Oh, I have to change the marks here too. Yeah. Okay, and now the final stretch. We will go. So here this. Also, you can make new intersections on existing roads. Just hover over this node until it goes pink, right click, and then you create a new road, and then you can trace it through the hills or mountains or whatever you want. This, another color, another template. Like this. So now we have our roads. I will add some other things because I don't want it to be completely flat. So here I will just make some more intersections. Intersections make it so your stage doesn't feel boring. I think it gives some life to your stage if it is only one way. It doesn't really matter that much, but if it's only one way, it's a bit boring. So that's my personal opinion, of course. So just change that a bit. I like to do the road colors and marks randomly, so it really changes a lot. Now I want some hills in the stage, so we will make those now. So here we have our tunnel, for example. I want smaller roads to go over that tunnel, so I'm going to make it 3.5 and then smaller, like this. So, and here we will go on the hill. This I will make in the next video how to make your hills not too steep and such. Will be covered in the next video. So we'll make it right here, and then we come back. So we have a small road that just goes over the hill where the big road goes in the tunnel. Like this, and maybe somewhere else also a hill. Here maybe. Here we can do the same. Make some hairpins because otherwise maybe too steep. Oh, see, that is what I mean, because this is not really great for the stage, but I will cover that in the next video, how to change that. We will put this. So maybe go here. When you see that the road also changes the. If you change something on one road, it also changes on the other one. So you have to manually change it back. This, and maybe a last one right here. So it takes some time, but we'll get there, and then we can go here, final stop, change the road color, like this, and then change the main road color again. And there we have it. I will once again save the stage, so now we can just file save, overwrite yes, replace, whatever it's called. So now we have our roads, and I will finally trace the route. So that is be at checkpoint, the point under the roads. And you have to start 2 kilometers before, you have to make the checkpoints 2 kilometers before you start. So I will go here. So I want to start on this stretch right here. So I will make the road 2 kilometers, this is around 2 kilometers I think. Well, there is always possibility to have more than 2 kilometers, so if you're not sure, just make it longer. We go here and then we'll wait. So I'll make the start right here in the middle. And then we just right click it, so it's the same, but here you have to right click always on the knots. If you have only one road between 2 flags, so 2 triangle flags, the game will automatically take the route. So between here and here, and that's the importance of those intersections, because if I hadn't done an intersection on the whole circle, there would only also be another road that completely goes around, and from here, from this flag to that flag, so it would have an error and maybe just go all around instead of just taking the short parts. So that's the importance of intersections. So we just go from intersection to intersection. So this is the next one, and you see the square flags appear because there is only one road. So now there is a possibility of multiple roads. If you're not sure, you can just click on halfway on the road, and then in the end. You can also manually put a flag on every road point if you want, but that's a lot of work for no reason. I think that it's nothing that will make your stage better if you do that. So we will go here, then on this hill. So you see there is this one road, here is an intersection in between, so it will choose this road instead of that one, because here you have to go through the intersection. And then we go again from intersection to intersection. Like here it's dangerous. If we just click on this one, it won't make any, it will move. So it will go through the tunnel because this is the shortest route. Sometimes it just makes an error and makes no route. So I will make a halfway point right here, and now at the end, and now it will go over the hill, and then we just go to the next intersection and the next intersection, and we have a route, it's circuits, and now you can choose how many laps you want to make your circuit. So I will choose 2 laps. You can give it a name, basic, and then you also need to have 2 kilometers after the finish of your route. So I will also want the finish to be around here. So I will go do this part to have finish. And now you see when you zoom in, the side of the lake, that's because we changed the lake side. The border of the lake is becoming gray. If you go to seaside, zoom out and zoom in, you see that it's more a beach-like thing. So we'll change it to lakeside. So now we have our road and our route. Normally, if all is correct, you go to profile view, you press the space bar, and here we have our route. It's a bit hilly, flattish, you know. We will once again save the stage, and I will cover the other things like adding the start and finish and checking for errors and decoration in the next video, because this is already long and I'm tired. So I hope this helped you already a bit, and maybe on the next video we will finish this whole stage and you can finish yours.